Hello, everyone. Hope everyone is doing good. You can see here that today I actually have the cards laid out, and it's not necessarily because I was trying to do a pre-shuffle and come up with a story of any kind. I actually started recording, and after I finished laying everything out, I realized the recording did not record. So I normally would have just, picked this all up and said today is not a day to record, but the thing is that this message actually came through really strong and I really wanted to share it. So there'll be a number of people that this resonates for. We started right off with the Wheel of Fortune. This is my favorite card in the entire tarot deck. The one thing that I always hear with this card is that Journey song, Wheel in the Sky Keeps on Turning. And even if you're not a Journey fan, I always think of, us and life as on a journey, right? All of us have our own journey, our own path, and we go through our trials and tribulations and life cycles. And I apologize for the lawnmower outside. It is yard day. In fact, I'm gonna try and just pause for a second. There we go, he went away. What I feel now, Knight of Pentacles is obviously, you know what, I feel like I'm not meant to record this today, is what it feels like as I'm doing this now. Now I have the lawnmowers outside and the maintenance men out there. And it just makes me feel like it's funny, okay? So it actually correlates with exactly with this Knight of Pentacles here. It feels like you have something, right? Like I have this spread here, and before it didn't record as I was doing the shuffling and everything, and now the yard maintenance. So it almost feels like, this Knight of Pentacles who knows that he has something in his hands. For those of you who are here watching, I feel like it's you. You've got a masculine, whether it's man or woman, there's this masculine energy that is almost, they've been in this place of being halted. It feels like they have you, they have feelings for you, and it's like they have this offer of commitment in their hands and they just haven't given it yet, right? Like we know the Knight of Pentacles is a halted, non-moving knight in the deck. But the wheel is turning. And it's funny, and this is what I was saying before as I was shuffling, because then right after that, what do we have? We have the Chariot. It's like the Chariot is finally saying, no, stop standing still. We're moving forward. This wheel is turning and it's time. And it's funny because in a reading that I did yesterday, this came out, I believe, twice. And it's like, okay, here it is again. It's a recurring theme in the recent. Call it all the world events, all these things that are happening. It's keeping people up at night wondering what life is going to be in the coming years, in the coming months. We're in uncertain times. So I think everybody has a lot of this energy. But in terms of this particular reading, it feels like this masculine is in that, because it's like they're recognizing and realizing that they love you, but they have not committed to you. But they don't want to lose you, and yet they are afraid to take that next step, right? They're standing still. They're afraid to move, but the Chariot is coming in and saying, no, we need to move this. And they're up at night because of it. It's kind of like another reading that I did. The last reading I posted, actually, if you take a look at it, it's that logical mind fighting the heart. You know, I feel like that's big for a lot of masculines, a lot of men, especially if you're here watching for a man. You know, you've got his heart, and that's exactly what leads into, despite having this fear, you've got him in his emotions. You've got him where his emotions are flowing. The thing is, though, I always laugh at this card if you really look at it. His face in this does not exactly look happy. It reminds me of someone who's like recognizing and realizing that they love you, but maybe it was in their minds the wrong time, or they just didn't have it. They didn't have a plan for it. They weren't looking for love, and it's that face of this realization, like, I didn't want this, but damn, I think I do love this person. I think I'm in love. And it's one of those things that for them, while it's a beautiful revelation, because they told themselves they didn't want it, it gives them this feeling of disdain almost, and not in a bad way. It almost feels like you're bringing them to life. You're showing them that they don't have to have these fears, because as we move down over here, what do we have? We have the Knight of Cups coming in. So again, we moved into the King of Cups, and here's this Knight of Cups, and it almost feels like we had the Knight of Pentacles. Well, Knight of Cups is coming in and saying, we're moving forward. Here's the emotional offer. We're moving, right? So then we have the Six of Pentacles, and again, you know, it's Six of Pentacles is offering like that offering of abundance. It's success. In this case, I feel like it's them giving to you, offering, again, like it's the offer, right? We've got the offers and offers, and this energy of the Eight of Swords, of being bound in confusion, you know, it almost feels like they in their minds, they told themselves that they didn't want the interference of love. And so this almost feels like them when they were trying to bind themselves, like away from you, to say no. But you've sparked this whole new thing, and now they're working on coming towards you, right? The Chariot, the Eight of Pentacles. They're working on it. It feels like, and we end this reading, the spread, coming into the King of Wands. It feels like and it's under the King of Cups. So we've got this King energy. It feels like someone who is building themselves up to feel good about coming towards you. I feel like part of the problem why maybe they were afraid to commit and told themselves that they didn't want love, and love was nowhere on the agenda in this time period of their life, was because they needed to get their act together. I think that they recognized that they were in a place where they weren't really moving much in life, and they made the decision that they're going to work on themselves. And so when you came along, they just weren't prepared for that. And I think part of them also fought that because they almost felt like when you came along, that it was just like another distraction away from all the things that they were working towards. Maybe it's their career, bettering themselves, you know, trying to push to make more money. You know, money makes the world go around. We do need it to survive. And so they were working on bettering that for themselves, working on putting them in that position. And part of them at first felt like, no, I can't dive into this because you're just another distraction. But the bottom of the deck when I did this was the sun. It feels like you are their sun. Like you are kind of like in our solar system, right? Earth revolves around the sun. Their world, they started to realize that you're not just another star in the sky. You are their sun. You are their star that is worth revolving around and putting their life. You're putting their life into a different perspective. You've shifted them into a new narrative that was not originally in their plans. I feel like I've said that a few times now during this read, but this is exactly what this entire reading gave. I think I'm just going to end this here, keep this a short video, because usually I'm the type to shuffle on camera and everything, and I didn't get the chance to do that. But I wanted to get this message out because I know that that message resonates for someone. You have someone who is working on themselves. They were somebody who you met at a time period where they were not ready for love. But because of you, you have sparked them to start moving forward. You know, you made their wheel start turning. Their journey, they realized that their journey forward is towards you.